Hi everyone, this is Alex from the Loome Shack with a quick update before today's video. Due to the global pandemic, we will be filming the next few episodes of the Loome Shack from within our own homes. We thank you for your understanding and hope you enjoyed today's video.
Hi and welcome to another episode of the Loome Shack. I'm your host Adam Baxter, and today we're going to discuss assets in Loome Publish. What is an asset? How do you discover and interact with one? And how do you register and publish a new asset into the system? So what is an asset? An asset can be a report from a platform such as powerbi.com or Tableau or SSRS. It can be a database from a system such as SQL Server, or even supporting documentation from a CMS system. So right now, let's jump in and have a look at Loome Publish, and we'll look at discovering and interacting with an asset. Okay, here we are on the Loome Publish homepage. Now there's two main ways to discover assets. The first is via the navigation on the left that provides us a list of our centrally managed taxonomy, or via free text search in the box up here. So let's just go ahead and go to our finance term and see what we've got there. Here we're presented with a list of assets that have been tagged against finance. And you can see here we've got some indication as to what kind of assets we have in the system. So here we have a Power BI report along with a visual indication as such. We have a Kepian dashboard and a Tableau server view. Now, if we've got a lot of content in this view, we can use the right-hand panel to further refine what we're looking at. We've got a free text search box here that will search within the confines of finance. And we've also got slices. Now, slices are comprised of all the metadata attached to each of these assets in the finance view. So what we can do is we can go ahead and filter down on that. So I'm going to filter down on data quality, and I only want to look at assets that have been tagged against gold. And you can see here, the view of assets that we can see has changed. So we'll go ahead and clear that and return to our full list of assets under finance. We've also got some other tools available on the menu here for us. We can change the sort order, so we can look at the most popular assets and also the most recent. If we don't like the card view, you can switch to a list view here, and you can see how that looks there. So we'll switch back to the card view. And let's talk about each of these individual cards that we're looking at. So on each card, we've got a number of functions that we can perform. The first is that we can open and look at that actual asset. We can look at information about the asset. So if we just click there, you can see we're looking at a lot more information here. So we've got a description, some basic metadata, subject matter experts. We have tags that are particular to that individual report. And then we can also see what tags from our centrally managed taxonomy this asset has been tagged against. We also have a discussion area. So you can go ahead and create a discussion on a particular report. And for instance, you might want to discuss data within the report for a particular month. You can go ahead and tag coworkers in here and have a discussion on that. And that will be notified via in-app or email notifications. We also have a help option. So you can get help on a particular asset. And for instance, this might be when you open the report, you might get an error such as access denied. So you can raise a request here and get help on that. And that can go to our internal help desk system within Loome Publish, or externally to a system such as ServiceNow if you have one. We also have the ability to favorite our assets. And when we click on that, they'll appear under our favorites view here, so we can come back to those later on. So let's go ahead and click into one of these assets. So what we're looking at here is our Power BI report. On the right-hand side, we have a context menu specific to this report, and you'll see a lot of those same buttons that we saw on the asset card. So let's just hit back, and we're going to go back to that board now, and let's look at a Tableau server view for comparison. So we'll click that, and we can see here that we've got the Tableau server view here, and we've got all the same functionality that we had when we were looking at the Power BI report. So again, our information, our discussions, help, share options, favoriting. So let's go ahead and go back to the asset board. And what you'll see below on the screen now is a link to further information in our documentation. Okay, so let's talk about how you actually get an asset into the system. So it's a two-step process. The first is that you register the asset, and that gets it into our drafts area. Once it's in the drafts area, we then need to tag it up with metadata, including any required fields, and then publish it so it's available to our users. So we'll go through the process of registering via the UI. However, there is an automated system for bulk importing from various platforms, and we'll cover that off in another video. So let's jump in and look at my screen, and we'll walk through that process. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to register the asset. So we click the little cog up in the top right here, and then we click on register. Now, just a reminder, to register and publish an asset, you do need to be in the publisher role. So we're going to go over to powerbi.com, and I'm going to publish this Power BI dashboard. So I'm just going to grab the URL here. I'm going to go back to Loome Publish, and I'm going to call this Opportunity Analysis Sample. We can provide a description if we like. I'm going to skip that step. Then we need to pick what kind of asset it is. So remember, we're publishing a Power BI dashboard. So we'll go down to Power BI and we'll pick dashboard, and then we'll just put that URL in. So then we click next. We can optionally add in any tags and experts we like here, and then hit register. So at this point in time, the asset is now in our drafts area. So let's go view items to look at our drafts, or we can go to the cog up here and click on publish. So what we need to do then is to find the asset that we just published. So we'll scroll all the way down. Here's the item here. Let's click on that information tab and then edit. And we'll need to fill out any sort of metadata that's required or optional metadata that we want to complete. So you can see here, a little red asterisk indicates that it's a required field. So we'll click over to metadata. The only term set from our taxonomy that I need to fill out is our business area. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this under our finance area. So I'll click that. I can save changes and leave it in drafts, or I can then go ahead and hit the save and publish option. So now that's out of my drafts, I'm going to go over and click on finance again. And then we'll search for our opportunity, and I can't spell. We'll search for that. And here's that item we just published here, which is now available for our users to consume. So down below, you'll see a link for more information on registering and publishing from our documentation. Okay, well, we've covered off how to discover and consume assets and how to register and publish them into the system. If you have any questions or issues, feel free to comment below or get in contact via email. Also, if you have any suggestions for what kind of content you'd like to see in the future, please feel free to comment below. And thanks for watching.